go. It is now live. Coming up.
Hey, and welcome back to Muscle Matters, where we talk family, faith. What's
freedom.
The other one?
Family, faith, freedom.
And freedom. I don't know. How did I forget that one? Oh, and muscles.
Freedom.
Tonight's episode is going to be very interesting. You probably won't hear a lot of conversation on this. Tonight's episode is going to be very informative. Let's leave it at there. I'm happy to ride.
It's fun.
I have Mike ride with me.
Yeah,
and,
always fun.
I hope you guys enjoy this informative episode.
I learned some things.
All right, welcome back to Muscle Matters. Mike, one of the most exciting things to me about this election was Robert Kennedy.
Yeah.
That to me was like...
I think it definitely tipped the scales. I mean, quite a bit, actually.
And I'm not even talking about tipping scales on how it should have swung votes. I mean, I could care less about any of that when it comes to this.
And I'm with you. I agree with what you're about to say. I have an idea what you're going to say. But
the fact that he is going after the FDA for years of... abuse that they've allowed to have in our bodies. Like, I didn't find out that chicken nuggets weren't chicken until sometime this year.
Really, bro?
I had no clue.
You ever been at McDonald's?
I thought it was chicken paste, like ground up chicken, like they make hot dogs.
You never heard of pink slime before?
I just figured it was like they did a hot dog. You know, hot dogs are just basically squeegeed food on the ground that's shoved into the intestines.
Yeah, hot dog's better for you than chicken nuggets at McDonald's.
Yes, there's actually meat in there. That's the crazy thing. So I had no idea the things that were going on that were body until I started experiencing difficulties with my kidneys being dehydrated from.
Because you ate in McDonald's?
No, from taking my diuretics that I have to take.
Okay, yeah.
So I constantly have the issues of my kidneys being dehydrated. And I started noticing that different foods hurt me. And so I went down the rabbit hole about 2 or 3 years ago on what was hurting me, what was good for me, and all these foods like whole wheat, oatmeal, all these things, brown rice that for years have been pushed down our throat that is a healthy food.
It's actually terrible.
Yes, 100% terrible, and we should not eat it. But this has been pushed upon us for years. And like I said, it's just very interesting. McDonald's French fries. We're going to I don't want to give away too much on tonight's episode. So tonight's
I love, because, and I've been a big one on this. Some people might hate on me for this. I don't care. I don't care if y'all hate on me, whatever. My kids are unvaccinated. We've been against vaccines for a long time. Kennedy's in the same boat with us, and there's good reasons behind him. He's actually done the research. So we didn't just randomly decide not to vaccinate our kids.
He's going to bring back home remedies.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. He's on board with peptides.
Yeah, he's probably going to help you out.
Stem cells. I mean,
for sure.
There's no reason, like he said, there's no reason Americans are leaving the country to go seek help in other countries when we have the technology to do it right here. So they're having to leave our country to go to the other countries to get stem cell. And the only reason they have to leave is because the pharmaceutical industry does not want us to be healthy. So you look at the tie-in of pharmaceutical.
They don't make no money off us being healthy, bro.
And food. The recall they just did on cold medicine.
Speaking of, did you see the recall they did on butter at Costco?
No.
They said because it doesn't say contains milk directly on the front of it, even though it says cream on the back of it.
That to me,
it's idiotic stuff.
That's what to me is.
But that's the point. It's idiotic.
Don't drink bleach.
Right.
Poison. Don't drink bleach.
Butter has milk in it. Who figured? Wow.
Like
good thing they added it to the label.
That's the whole thing. So tonight's thing, we're going to be more watching videos, and the videos that I've picked are just going to be informative. So if you're not familiar what's going on in the Woods world and why I'm excited about Robert Kennedy actually being part of the team, we're going to go ahead and start rolling some videos, and you guys stick around and watch these videos. They're very informative. Let's go ahead and start rolling some videos. We'll go with video number 1.
Go D.
I'll just give you one example. if you go to McDonald's anywhere in the world, you will find French fries, or chips as you call them, and you will find that they're always made from the same potato, the russet Burbank potato. This is a potato from America that's unusually long and difficult to grow, but that's what they want, because when you're McDonald's, you like those red boxes with a little bouquet of very long chips. It looks really good, and so they insist that all their potatoes be russet Burbanks, and they further insist that they have no blemishes at all. There's a very common defect of russet Burbank potatoes
This was the
called
crazy
neck
part for me.
necrosis. And you've seen potatoes with a little brown line sometimes, or spots that come through it. Well, McDonald's won't buy
I've seen
them if your potatoes have that. And the only way to eliminate that is to eliminate an
This
aphid.
part right here.
And the only way to do that is with a pesticide called Monitor that is so toxic
wild.
that the farmers who grow these potatoes in Idaho
This part.
won't venture outside into their fields for 5 days after they spray.
That's insane.
And then when they harvest their potatoes, they have to
This
put them
part
in
too.
these atmosphere-controlled sheds the size of a football stadium because they're not edible for 6 weeks. They have to off-gas all the chemicals in them.
Yeah.
So you see, the desire for a certain kind of chip leads to a certain kind of agriculture.
And, that's the crazy thing to me right there is that, and you know that frying a potato in a certain grease is already toxic.
Yeah.
And then we have this potato that is being full of toxins that the farmers that are harvesting it can't even go outside when they spray it. So, like, your dog will die if it goes out there.
Well, I mean, we don't even go to, like, we won't go to McDonald's. Like, I've known for a long time, it's not even food.
Yes.
And you're not, like, if you eat McDonald's, which I say, there's been road trips where, like, okay, like, let's stop, it's the only place for, like, 10 hours. Okay.
Yes.
You're hungry again, like, 10 minutes later.
And it's just like, and this is what I'm excited about is that let's go ahead and roll into the next video. That he's campaigning to go against
America's
this. 'Cause why would
food
the
is
FDA allow
banned in
this?
30 countries.
The food is killing people.
Oh yeah, it's definitely killing people. If somebody were to buy a bag of Lay's potato chips versus buying it in Europe and look at the ingredients, they're totally different. They will make the healthier version for another country. There's over 10,000 food chemicals that are allowed in the American population or food system that aren't allowed in other countries. It makes it easier for food companies, gives them longer shelf life because they're putting so many chemicals
Makes
in.
some money.
So anytime we lobby for healthier food choices in our school systems, in our neighborhoods, the food industry is going right behind them with billions and millions of dollars saying, no, we can't do that.
Yeah, because they're all bought off.
Yeah, and like I said, that's why I'm really excited. We can go ahead and just roll right into the next one. Not much to talk about on this one. This one's
We're
just
poisoning this whole generation. Shouldn't we be talking about that? Shouldn't we be talking about the fact that we have 1,000 ingredients in our foods that are illegal in other countries, in Europe, etc., and that we're just systematically poisoning this generation of kids? When I talk about it, I feel like people's lights go on and they say, yeah, that is what this election should be about. It shouldn't be about the fear. And when you start talking about the issues that are really important to people, the chronic disease, the debt, the addiction to war, restoring our soils, having healthy foods, I see that there's a tremendous receptivity both by Republicans and Democrats. And of course, they want to make sure Republicans and Democrats never get together on anything.
And that's, I mean, wait till you see. Did you watch the video where I sent you where the FDA has their spokesperson? It's towards the end. You probably didn't make it to the end. I think it's the next video. Let's go ahead and roll into the next video. But the very
This
end,
morning, a focus on Fruit Loops by Robert
Yes, the end
Kennedy
of this
Jr.,
video.
who's expected to take a major role overseeing public health in the new Trump administration.
Why do we have Fruit Loops in this country that have 18 or 19 ingredients, and you go to Canada and it's got 2 or 3?
Kennedy has raised concerns about the health effects of processed foods. He's not alone. Protesters recently gathered outside Kellogg's, demanding artificial dyes be removed from the cereal.
I'm here for the moms, all the moms who struggle to feed their children healthy food without added chemicals.
But experts warn not to jump to conclusions.
If you compare a box of Fruit Loops
Right
from the
here.
United States and Canada,
crazy.
you will see they have roughly the same number
Listen
of
to what he's
ingredients.
saying.
The big difference is in what is being used for dyes. In Canada, it's a natural dye, such as carrot, watermelon, or blueberry juice, whereas in the United States, they're using artificial dyes, like red 40, blue 1, and yellow 5 and 6.
Studies have claimed those dyes could cause
He
behavioral
literally said they're
problems in
using
some
natural and
kids.
we're using
the
artificial.
FDA has said
Yeah.
most kids have no adverse effects,
Well,
and Kellogg says its ingredients meet
Dude, I know
federal
my wife
standards.
for a long time.
But it's
She's made a
those
point.
standards
She won't give her
Kennedy
kids red
apparently
40,
wants to
anything with red
focus
40
on,
in it.
Well, if I
saying
come back to that
this
right now.
yesterday about the staff at the FDA's nutrition department.
In some categories of workers, there are entire departments, like the nutrition departments at FDA, that have to go, that are not doing their job. They're not protecting our kids.
His potential future boss saying this about the power RFK could have.
I'm going to let him go wild on health. I'm going to let him go wild on the food.
Back in Trump's previous administration, Trump rolled back former First Lady Michelle Obama's healthier school lunch plan.
First Lady?
But with RFK, Trump appears to be taking a step in a different direction.
But in recent years, Americans have become a little bit more aware about the impact of processed foods and what that may be having on rising rates of chronic disease and obesity. But what we need to remember is that processed foods diet is not the only culprit for the rise in chronic disease. We also have to pay attention to environment, genetics, the fact that children are more
true.
sedentary now.
It's
They're on
crazy.
their
They
screens.
throw genetics in.
RFK has also pushed
yeah.
to remove fluoride
Sit
from
around
drinking
and-
water. And he's a vaccine skeptic, but he said yesterday he won't be taking away anyone's vaccines. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
We'll come back to the red dye 40.
Yeah.
My nephew, if he gets any, I can't remember if it's the red or the blue, which I can't remember exactly which one
It's
it
the
was.
red 40. Guarantee
He
you.
bounces off walls. He literally can't be still. He wants to
Yep.
fight.
Yep.
He turns into, he's a great
red
little boy.
45.
I love him to death. He's a great little boy, nothing. But he gets that red dye, he's just like you're like, boy, sit down. He can't.
That's
He
why my
can't.
wife won't give it to my kids for the
Yeah,
same
he
reason.
cannot sit down, and literally they went to the doctor, and the doctor literally said it's the red dye. Stop giving him the red
Yeah.
dye. And I love him, and he's so intelligent. He's only Simon. Simon's only like 7, 8, 9, and he's smart enough to know, hey, I can't eat that.
Yeah.
Because he knows that it sets him off.
Well, you know Doritos?
We're getting there.
The nacho cheese Doritos?
Yes.
My son used to break out in the mouth anytime I would eat them. And so we stopped eating them. And then all of a sudden he didn't break out anymore. So I think his body adapted to it. But, you know, I was thinking about this. I said my kids weren't vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm thinking about the number of times they've been to the doctor in their entire lives. Like when they were born, they did the, checkups. I don't think they've been. Like, my son's 11. I don't think he's been to the doctor, like, maybe once.
Like it's so many things, and I'm not anti-vax, but there's so many things where they're showing like a lot of the newer vaccines that are being pushed out are causing the autism, that are causing these problems. It's out there, and the studies have shown that there's direct correlations.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's the newer vaccines. It's not the older ones that.
Yeah, the ones we got, you know, was different.
Yes, it's the newer ones. Go ahead and roll to the next video.
Have you ever compared foods between the United States and our European neighbors? It's a little disturbing. Brace yourselves.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
Oatmeal, that blew my mind.
Yeah, right? Dude, look at the...
Yes.
Yeah, it's literally...
The French fry, they're
literally drinking chemicals.
The question is, why is that happening?
Like the oatmeal blew my mind. When I went down the oatmeal rabbit hole, that blew my mind because I'm like, it should just be oats, correct?
Nope.
It should just be oats.
It should be.
And you look at what theirs is just oats.
Yeah.
With some added honey and sugar.
My wife's kind of tell on anything. First of all, we don't buy much processed foods anyway. We do adhere to most of what we've talked about and stuff. But my wife's thing is, if I look at a box and I can't pronounce it, I ain't buying it.
And it's crazy, and I mean that drops back even to the supplement industry. When I tell people about protein powders, it's just processed food. It's processed protein. There's so much gunk in there.
Yeah.
Because once again, the FDA doesn't even put their dirty little grimy hands on that one. It's just being made. Let's go ahead and roll the next video.
Our government is letting U.S. food companies get away with serving American citizens harmful ingredients that are banned or heavily regulated in other countries.
It's all about the money.
Even worse, American food companies are selling the same exact products overseas without these chemicals, but choose to continue serving us the most toxic version here. It's un-American. Let me give you some examples of McDonald's French fries. In the US, there's 11 ingredients. In the UK, there's 3, and salt is optional. An ingredient called dimethylpolysiloxane is an ingredient preserved with formaldehyde,
One of those
a
you can't say?
neurotoxin, in the
Yeah.
US version. This is used as a foaming agent so they don't have to replace the oil that often, making McDonald's more money here in the United States. But they don't do that across the pond. This is Skittles. Notice the long list of ingredient differences. 10 artificial dyes in the US version and titanium dioxide. This ingredient is banned
Metal.
in Europe because it can cause DNA damage. Artificial dyes are made from petroleum, and products containing these dyes require a warning label in Europe that states it may cause adverse effects on activity and detention in children. And they have been linked to cancer and disruptions in the immune system. This on
Yeah.
the screen back here is Gatorade.
This is
In
crazy.
the US, they use red 40 and caramel color. In Germany, they don't. They use carrot and sweet potatoes to color their Gatorade. General Mills is definitely playing some tricks on us. They launched a new version of Trix just recently in Australia. It has no dyes. They even advertise that, when the US version still does. This is why I became a food activist. My name is Vani Hari, and I only want one thing. I want Americans to be treated the same way as citizens in other countries by our own American companies. In the last 60 years, almost all food additives were being created for one sole purpose: to improve the bottom line of the food industry and not improve our health.
That's right.
These chemicals were created to mimic real food, to make it easier and cheaper for food manufacturers to preserve their food, to make it last longer on the shelf, to help manufacturing, and sinister of all, to allow them to create products that are more addictive in nature.
Have you seen the video of the cooking oil? I think it's canola oil. It was originally used as automobile lubricant.
What?
Yes.
We're putting this in our body?
Yes, it was originally used. It's one of the oils, the cooking oils, and it's been a while since I went down and it just made me think about it. But one of the oils was literally oil for cars, and they decided, let's make it cookable.
You know this video is getting shadow banned, right?
Oh, it's okay. That's okay.
They don't want us getting out on this info.
Well, it's okay. It doesn't bother me in the least, but it just the people that are watching it live, they get an opportunity to understand why. Like I said, I was really happy about Kennedy. I was really happy about Kennedy. This can't. I talk about it every day on my page. How happy I am.
Dude, I 100% agree. I love the things he's behind on the health, and there's stuff you and I have discussed many times, but stuff Dave and I have discussed for years.
You know that, I can't remember the year, but it's in the 40s or the 60s. I can't remember. It's been so long since I went down the rabbit hole. But the sugar company literally gave the FDA $25,000 to say sugar is better than fats. And that's why fats got such a bad rap for so many years. When fats are literally what your body needs to run on.
And not sugar. Sugar is what cancer needs to run on.
So your body is made to run on fat, but they said fats were bad for us. Let's go ahead and roll the next video.
Chick-fil-A is reintroducing antibiotics back into their chicken. When I heard that, I was a little alarmed, so I did some research. Maybe I can help you understand what's happening in the chicken industry. Chick-fil-A made a pledge in 2014 to serve only chicken that had never been exposed to antibiotics, as did Tyson Foods, one of their suppliers. You see, the poultry industry had been using antibiotics routinely in chicken feed to prevent disease in crowded conditions with poor sanitation. And, if we're honest, because they learned antibiotics make them gain weight. But daily antibiotics also make smart bacteria mutate and become resistant. And this would transfer to people who ate the meat, and more began getting nasty infections that no longer responded to any antibiotics, and they were dying. The pressure was on, and no antibiotics ever, or NAE, became a
Well, I guess that would be the shadow ban.
I don't know what happened, D.
I guess that they figured out we're talking about it, but that was actually crazy because it goes into the fact that they no longer. It's now a new form of antibacteria.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the call letters.
Oh, NIHM.
Yes, it's
not
it's not supposed to be not harmful to humans.
No antibiotics in human.
That's harmful to humans.
Right, basically.
So, and that's what they switched to, which on one hand, it sounds really smart. But on the other hand, did they do enough research to make sure we're not still mutating?
That's basically what the video says.
Make sure we're not still mutating diseases.
And I don't know if you and I have discussed this. We probably have. The whole organic thing is a scam too.
Oh yeah.
It's not really organic.
No, it's not. I tell, like, when people come in and they always ask me, Steve, do you have grass-fed protein? And I'm like, that's a scam. They go, what do you mean? I go, it's a scam.
Yeah.
All I have to do is
feed it some grass.
Feed it some grass. It's still caged. I said that you want to look for unindentured protein.
Right.
That means it's free graze. That means they're walking around, and you don't see a lot of unindentured because those are cows that are getting to be free, and it's expensive.
The best thing you can do is buy a cow off somebody else, like buy a whole or a half cow or something.
Yes, and I'm gonna give a shout out to Wood Ales. I've been going to Wood Ales a lot, and I'm not going to tell you what I'm buying because I don't want you guys to go buy my supply. They don't have a lot of it, but I go over there because I've been trying to get away from store-bought products, because I'm not 100% positive on all the ground meat. So I go there to get my ground meat because a lot of the ground meat is packaged.
Wood Ale?
Yes. So did I say it wrong?
You said Wood Ale.
I got a little twang to it, okay? Forgive my country twang. Sometimes it just happens. Call me Kamala. I just got different voices for everything. So go ahead and roll it to the next video.
Hopefully it works this time, too.
Politics aside, McDonald's is about to go broke because of this man. He just revealed how much they are profiting off of poisoning us. Check this out because they're trying to get it down right now.
President Trump was cooking at McDonald's the other day, giving people French fries. And people criticized me, and they said, well, he's out there giving fast food. And I said, I don't have anything against fast food. I'm against food that has seed oils. When I was a kid, McDonald's was made with tallow fat. That was good for you. Your body needs that. It makes you healthy. Why aren't we making with tallow fat again?
Yeah, we obviously know big corporations just want to get rich, so they decided to feed us oils with zero nutrient profile, not caring that they cause a plethora of health problems for us.
That's my favorite word.
We could just spend a little more and use very nutrient-dense beef tallow so we can all be healthy and pay the farmer now and the doctor later, but no. Beef fat is incredibly nutrient-dense and it's not processed very much, so it keeps all the nutrients that it has. Coincidentally, it has been used for thousands of years for cooking and for a moisturizer, and I literally started this page because I was absolutely amazed at what beef tallow did for my skin. I had hormonal cystic acne my whole entire life. This is just a couple months ago. I quite literally washed my face with water and rubbed beef tallow on it for a moisturizer.
We can go ahead and cut it from there.
And it is so nutrient dense, full of vitamin A, which is retinol, that it just
Well, and the crazy thing, we'll start at the top of this video where she says that they use that oil that they're currently using at McDonald's so they don't have to change the oil.
Yeah.
So how often do you have to change the oil?
I don't know.
Do we go a shift, 2 shifts, 3 shifts, 2 days, 3 days? I mean, I worked at McDonald's for like a day when I was a teenager.
Like Trump?
I didn't last very long. They told me to go clean up a section that I threw pickles at when I came in high school.
You worked there longer than Kamala did.
I may not have. I think I might have walked in and walked out the same day. But it's literally it's crazy. I wonder how, because the whole thing is profit margin. They're, when you start talking business, they want profits. They, at the end of the day, every business is all about profit margin. So
yeah, but there's a difference between making a profit,
killing
you and
people
I are both
making profits
in business, right?
Yes.
So
I don't believe in killing people.
and making an ethical profit.
Yeah, but when I tell people I got into this business and I got into sports nutrition because I wanted to be ethical. I wanted to never forget what it's like to be on the other side. But you're talking billions. McDonald's was billions served in the 70s?
Yeah.
So billions served. a day. So they're making $1 billion. Did you see how much money Disney lost? I'm sorry, I went crazy on my rabbit hole. $189 billion this year. We'll come back to that one in another episode. Yeah. So, and it's like, it's amazing.
We need to come back with some of our pop culture episodes.
Yes,
bro.
we can do a pop culture one. So it just, I wonder how long that oil lasts. And then when you think about how long that oil lasts, is how many different times that fry's going up and down. And so we already know the fry's backloaded with toxics. We already know that cooking them in a certain oil creates toxic.
Yeah. Well, there's like going to any chain fast food place is already like
toxic.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and roll it in another video. If we have any left.
Yeah, that's it. That's
okay.
it.
That was the last video?
That's it.
Okay.
I knew that was the last one, right?
Well, and when that guy was talking about the hormonal, the antibacteria, I wish it had gone a little bit longer, because he talks about how when they switched away from not having the antibacteria, they actually increased the price of chicken by 20%.
Yeah. What happened to that video, D?
So so when, like, if you think about how the price of chicken just jumped dramatically. So you look how the price of chicken just jumped dramatically. Are we still there?
Yeah.
And now it's just now an acceptable cost.
Yeah. Right. So they increase the price. The price now they're going to decrease the quality and still keep the price up.
They still keep the price up. So they introducing it back in, but they're not going to. That's the crazy thing about the bad thing about inflation, is once the price goes up, it very seldomly comes down.
It ain't coming down.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, as much as I love the Orange Man, we know that gas isn't going to come back down, and
supply and demand. Well, I don't know. Housing might come down.
Mr. Slickback Hair, we're getting another $1 in January.
Gavin.
Yes, gotta love Mr. Slickback Hair.
Comrade Newsom.
And how he lost his $29 billion. But I don't want to get political. So this whole episode was about food. I wanted you guys to kind of, if you want to go down your own rabbit holes, you want to come back, have discussions about it. So you understand why I'm so happy about the victory, and that is Kennedy going in the office. Like I said, he's going to bring peptides. He's going to bring stem cell. He's going to bring alternative health. All those things that were banned and the FDA says doesn't work, but they actually do work. He's bringing these things back. The Joe Tipton's anti-cancer. Every time I find it, it gets erased. I literally, I send it to your dad, and it literally helps. I mean, you can't cure something. If it was an automatic cure, it would really be out there. But these are things that actually help combat. Like the Tipton thing actually combats the cancer cells. But
can we Darius drop the links in the comments on, like, say YouTube? All the links, all over.
Oh, those
videos.
are all TikToks.
Yeah, but if we drop them, they can go find them on TikTok. But we're streaming on YouTube. So,
okay.
So we'll drop all the on 511 YouTube, all the videos that we played, so y'all can go watch it. We'll drop them so they can find it. And
like I said, if you have free time, go down the rabbit hole. Robert Kennedy versus the food industry. It's very good, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And we're going to keep it short, and I just wanted to have something about food because I'm always harping on it, and I just wanted you guys to know why I'm so excited about the start of the next 4 years.
Dude, that was one of my favorite things.
Yeah, by far, that to me, I think, was the nail in the coffin. Yeah. That right there, the fact that he was you got a guy they what happened to him, it was in 2004.
He got like a brain thing, right?
Well, no, he went after the FDA in 2004.
Okay. He
went after the FDA in 2004, and they told him, if you continue down this road, your career's over.
How did he keep going?
When's the last time you heard of Robert Kennedy?
This year.
Bingo. They put him out to pasture. It's just the fact that he's a Kennedy.
Yeah.
That's kept him around. So this has been a good episode of Muscle Matters. If you got I normally use olive oil or avocado oil.
Olive oil is not really good for you either, though, bro. You're not supposed to fry it.
Quiet. I'm trying not to. You can't.
Don't you know that? You know that.
Yes, I cook in it though.
But you're not supposed to. Basically, if you eat food, you're going to die. But also, if you don't eat food, you're going to die. And no matter what you eat, everything.
You have to pick your battles.
So.
But yeah. I like to support mom and pop restaurants.
Yes.
I love to. We've got tons of mom and pop restaurants.
Who's the one you like?
I love Sancho's Tacos.
Yeah.
I go there. But there's plenty of mom and pops. There's SoCal Tamales. I mean, there's plenty of mom and pop shops around here. Vato's Tacos.
It's Vato's, I think, is the one that you.
That's
the one
the
downtown.
Sancho's is downtown. Vato's is on the east side.
Okay.
There's plenty of mom and pop places that actually do good cooking in this town. We have plenty of them downtown.
Luigi's.
Yeah, Luigi's. These are good restaurants. What's the one over by me? The steakhouse over by me. They actually have their own cattle ranch. Sorello's.
Sorello's.
Yes. So I know at one time they had their own cattle ranch.
I've never been there.
Oh, the steaks are good.
Okay.
Steaks are good. So there's plenty of places where you can go and feel safe about eating, and they're not. I mean,
you know, dude, have you eaten? By the way, guys, you got to go check this out. And I love the people, the owners, and they've won like healthiest restaurant in Bakersfield like at least 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
It's at the old hotel down across the street from the Beale Library, Mango House, I think it's called.
Okay. Yeah.
Dude, you will love it.
Okay.
It's good, healthy food.
And there's healthy alternatives. So we just because of the world has turned us in such a time crunch generation. Our time is completely crunched now. We work longer, harder. We do more things. We have less time. That's why fast food got so popular. But now the price of fast food is more than actually a restaurant burger.
Dude, it's insane.
And that's the crazy part is it's cheaper to go to a restaurant and get a burger and fries than it is to go.
You go to across the street to Chick-fil-A and it's like $50 to feed my family, bro.
Man, Taco Bell, like.
Yeah, it's like $30
for a 12. And it used to be like Taco Bell was every frat boy's dream. I was a frat boy. Taco Bell 79-cent tacos.
Ain't got no
Jack in the Box 99-cent tacos. I wouldn't recommend you eat that now.
The monster tacos. It's not even real food. That's not even food, bro. It's got like belt meat in there.
It used to be made out of kangaroo meat. You know that, right?
Did it?
Yes, back in the day it was kangaroo meat.
Wow. That's why it tastes so good.
Yes. I was like, man, kangaroo's good. That's like when I don't want to throw their name under the bus. There used to be this taco place here in town, and they got busted several times for serving dog and cat. And I was like,
what?
Well,
you can't tell me about this after.
The dog and cat actually taste pretty good. So thank you guys very much for spending some time with us. This has been Muscle Matters, because Muscle Matters. Thank you very much for riding shotgun with me, Mike.
It's always
We'll
fun,
see you
bro.
next week.
Later.